Forgiveness is a virtue, but so is knowing when to walk away from fools. In a world that romanticizes forgiveness as a sign of strength, Sigma males take a refreshingly unorthodox approach. They don't dwell on the tired rhetoric of forgive and forget. Instead, they master the art of moving on with precision and purpose. Studies show that 70% of people who forgive too quickly often find themselves hurt again by the same offender. Sigma males, they're not in that statistic. Why? Because they don't waste their energy on empty apologies or second chances for repeat offenders. Instead, they've perfected a strategy that's both brutally effective and strangely liberating. Some might call it ruthless, others might call it genius. Either way, you'll want to take notes, because the way Sigma males handle betrayal is anything but ordinary. Oh, and if you're the one who wronged them, let's just say, you won't be needing their forgiveness, because you'll never hear from them again. Number 1. They don't forgive, they forget. Sigma males don't forgive, they forget, but not in the sense of naively erasing the offense from their minds. Oh no, it's much more calculated than that. When a Sigma male is wronged, they process the situation, extract the lesson, and then erase the offender's significance altogether. To them, true power doesn't lie in forgiving or holding grudges. It lies in the ability to remove someone from their mental and emotional space entirely. This isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. A Sigma male will observe patterns, weigh the relationship's value, and once it's clear that someone isn't worth their energy, they make the cleanest cut imaginable. There's no drama, no explosive confrontation, no long-winded explanations, just silence. And that silence is deafening. For the Sigma, forgetting someone isn't an act of cruelty, it's self-preservation. Why waste time dwelling on people who bring toxicity into their lives? By forgetting them, they're not suppressing the hurt or pretending nothing happened. Instead, they're compartmentalizing the experience, closing the chapter, and shelving it away where it no longer impacts their mental clarity or emotional well-being. What makes this approach so effective is its finality. When a Sigma male decides someone no longer has a place in their life, it's permanent. They don't revisit the relationship, rehash the betrayal, or entertain the idea of reconciliation. The offender becomes a ghost, a faint memory with no weight in their current reality. And the beauty of it? While the offender is left wondering what happened, the Sigma male moves forward with focus and purpose, carrying no baggage, no grudges, and no unnecessary distractions. Forgetting for them isn't about denial. It's about reclaiming control and living unburdened by people who don't deserve a second thought. Number 2. They operate with a zero-tolerance policy for repeated mistakes. Sigma males are not rigid perfectionists who expect others to be flawless, but they have an unwavering stance on repeated mistakes. They understand that everyone can slip up once, it's human. However, a repeated offense isn't seen as a mere accident. It's viewed as a deliberate pattern of behavior, or worse, a lack of respect for their boundaries. And Sigma males do not entertain disrespect, no matter how subtle or unintentional it may seem. Their zero-tolerance policy is rooted in their deep understanding of human nature. They believe that actions reveal intentions far better than words ever could. If someone repeats the same mistake after being given the chance to correct it, the Sigma sees it as a clear signal. This person either lacks self-awareness, values the relationship too little, or thinks they can get away with disrespect. None of these possibilities are acceptable to a Sigma male. When a boundary is crossed a second time, the Sigma doesn't issue warnings or ultimatums. They act. Whether it means cutting ties, distancing themselves, or outright removing someone from their life, their response is swift, decisive, and non-negotiable. To outsiders, this might seem harsh or unforgiving, but to the Sigma, it's about protecting their peace and ensuring that their time and energy are invested in people who truly value them. This approach isn't about holding grudges or being vengeful. It's about having a clear standard for relationships. Sigma males believe that second chances shouldn't be handed out freely. They should be earned through genuine effort. Once they see that someone isn't capable of making that effort, the decision to walk away is easy. Their self-respect and emotional well-being always come first, and that's a line they will never compromise. Number 3. They view forgiveness as giving away power. To a Sigma male, Forgiveness isn't just a moral or emotional decision, it's a matter of control. They see forgiveness, especially when given too easily, as an act of surrender, a way of handing over power to someone who wronged them. In their eyes, forgiving someone too quickly can send the message that boundaries can be crossed without consequences, something they refuse to tolerate. For Sigma males, true power lies in taking control of the situation, not in reconciling with it. This doesn't mean they dwell on resentment or harbor grudges. Quite the opposite. They redirect their energy toward ensuring the mistake doesn't repeat itself. This could mean cutting ties with the offender, reassessing their environment, or implementing stronger personal boundaries. To them, reclaiming their power is about action, not sentimentality. The idea of forgive and forget doesn't sit well with them because it feels passive. Instead, they focus on active responses that protect their future and reinforce their autonomy. They don't allow apologies to reset the dynamic or erase the damage done. Instead, they evaluate the situation with a sharp, logical lens. If the offense has jeopardized their trust or values, forgiveness is irrelevant. What matters is moving forward on their own terms. This approach doesn't make Sigma males cold or heartless. It makes them self-reliant. They prioritize their emotional health and independence above societal norms or expectations. By choosing not to forgive, they're not clinging to anger. They're choosing to take charge of their narrative, ensuring that they're never put in a position of vulnerability again. For a Sigma male, refusing to forgive isn't about withholding grace. It's about refusing to give anyone the power to undermine their sense of self. Number 4. They seek justice, not closure. Sigma males don't buy into the notion that closure comes from emotional resolution or heartfelt conversations. To them, closure isn't something they wait for. It's something they create. When wronged, they don't waste time chasing apologies, explanations, or validation. Instead, they shift their focus to justice, a concrete, practical resolution that restores balance and safeguards their future. Justice, for a Sigma, doesn't always mean dramatic retaliation or payback. Sometimes it's as simple and powerful as removing themselves from a harmful dynamic. Walking away is their way of reclaiming control, ensuring they're no longer subject to the offender's influence. It's a quiet yet profound act of self-preservation that speaks volumes without a single word. If the situation calls for accountability, a Sigma male will enforce it in a way that aligns with their values. This could mean addressing the issue head-on or implementing boundaries that make future offenses impossible. They don't lash out or act impulsively. Every move they make is calculated and deliberate, designed to protect their energy and ensure the offender understands the consequences of their actions. While others might seek closure through emotional conversations or attempts to reconcile, Sigma males view this as a waste of time and energy. They believe closure doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. By seeking justice instead, they focus on tangible outcomes rather than chasing an emotional resolution that may never come. Ultimately, Sigma males prioritize action over sentimentality. Justice, to them, is about restoring order to their world, not dwelling on the chaos someone else caused. Once that balance is achieved, they move on swiftly and decisively, leaving no room for lingering resentment or unresolved feelings. Closure is irrelevant when justice has already been served. Number 5. They implement silent consequences. When wronged, Sigma males don't believe in loud declarations, heated arguments, or public displays of anger. Instead, they operate in silence, letting their actions, or lack thereof, deliver the message. Silent consequences are their weapon of choice, subtle, precise, and impossible to ignore. For a Sigma male, time, energy, and presence are precious commodities, and the ultimate punishment for anyone who betrays their trust is losing access to them. They don't explain themselves or engage in dramatic confrontations. Instead, they quietly withdraw, creating a void that speaks louder than any words could. Suddenly, the offender realizes what they've lost: the support, insight, or loyalty that the Sigma male brought into their life. This approach is both deliberate and effective. By refusing to engage in overt retaliation, Sigma males maintain their composure and dignity. They're not interested in proving a point or seeking validation. They let their absence do the work. The offender is left to reflect on their actions, often feeling the weight of the consequences long after the Sigma male has moved on. Silent consequences also protect the Sigma's energy. Rather than wasting time on fruitless arguments or emotional outbursts, they channel their focus into more productive areas of their life. This makes their response not only impactful, but also deeply satisfying. The brilliance of this approach lies in its simplicity. There's no need for revenge or dramatics, just a quiet, calculated shift that leaves the offender questioning their actions and recognizing the loss. In the end, the Sigma male emerges unscathed and unbothered, while the offender is left with the realization that they've been shut out of something valuable. Silent consequences are the ultimate power move, understated yet unforgettable. Number 6. They see forgiveness as a societal expectation, not a necessity. Sigma males approach forgiveness with a refreshing skepticism, rejecting the idea that it's a universal virtue or moral obligation. While society often paints forgiveness as a necessary act of strength or maturity, Sigma males challenge this narrative. To them, forgiveness isn't a blanket solution but an option, one they choose only if it adds genuine value to their life or promotes personal growth. This perspective stems from their focus on practicality and self-preservation. Sigma males don't forgive simply because it's expected or because they're told it's the right thing to do. Instead, they critically evaluate the situation. Does forgiving this person restore trust? Does it improve the relationship? Or is it simply an empty gesture that leaves them vulnerable to future harm? If the answer is the latter, they see no reason to forgive. For Sigma males, forgiveness isn't synonymous with closure or strength. They view it as a tool, not a moral imperative. And like any tool, it's only worth using if it serves a purpose. If forgiving someone allows them to maintain a beneficial relationship or achieve peace of mind without compromising their boundaries, they'll consider it. But if it's a hollow act demanded by societal norms, they see it as unnecessary at best and harmful at worst. By refusing to forgive out of obligation, Sigma males preserve their autonomy and emotional integrity. They don't let cultural expectations dictate their responses to betrayal or hurt. Instead, they prioritize their well-being, ensuring every decision aligns with their values and personal growth. In doing so, they redefine forgiveness, not as a moral duty, but as a deliberate choice that must earn its place in their lives. Number 7. They focus on energy management, not emotional resolutions. Sigma males are highly aware of the finite nature of their energy and treat it like a precious currency. While others may spend time hashing out emotional resolutions, chasing closure, or dwelling on conflicts, Sigma males take a very different approach. They assess whether a situation or person is worth their energy, and if not, they redirect it toward pursuits that genuinely matter to them. To a Sigma, emotional resolutions often feel like a wasteful detour. Why pour time into rehashing grievances or trying to mend what's already broken when that same energy could fuel personal growth, creative projects, or meaningful relationships? They know that energy invested in drama or toxic dynamics is energy stolen from their goals and aspirations. When faced with conflict, Sigma males don't seek emotional validation. They avoid the endless cycle of blame, apologies, and misunderstandings that many people get stuck in. Instead, they focus on maintaining their internal equilibrium. If something disrupts their peace, they take decisive action, whether that's walking away, setting firmer boundaries, or cutting ties entirely. This pragmatic approach allows them to stay emotionally grounded and unburdened by unnecessary distractions. By prioritizing energy management, Sigma males create a life that aligns with their values and ambitions. They channel their focus into areas that yield tangible results, whether it's mastering a skill, building their career, or nurturing relationships with those who truly respect them. Emotional resolutions may satisfy others, but for Sigma males, the true reward is in preserving their time and energy for what genuinely enriches their lives. This mindset isn't about avoiding emotions. It's about mastering them. By choosing where to invest their energy, Sigma males ensure they remain in control of their path, free from the chaos that comes from chasing emotional closure or giving energy to those who don't deserve it. Number 8. They trust actions over words. For Sigma males, words are cheap. Apologies, promises, and reassurances mean little without the weight of consistent actions to back them up. This isn't cynicism, it's realism. Sigma males understand that true trust isn't built on what someone says they'll do. It's proven through what they consistently do. When someone breaks their trust, Sigma males don't rush to forgive or give second chances just because of a well-worded apology. They analyze the situation carefully, looking at the offender's track record. Have they shown genuine accountability through their actions? Are they making a real effort to change? Or are they simply using words to escape the consequences? If the answers don't align with the Sigma's standards, trust is severed, and that cut is usually permanent. Once broken, trust isn't easily repaired in the eyes of a Sigma. They believe in the value of self-respect and won't compromise their boundaries just to maintain a relationship. Rebuilding trust would require not only consistent, reliable actions over time, but also a clear acknowledgement of past mistakes. Few people meet these criteria, and Sigma males are fine with that. They'd rather have fewer trustworthy connections than be surrounded by unreliable individuals. This approach doesn't stem from bitterness or arrogance. It's a reflection of the Sigma's core belief that actions reveal true character. Words can be manipulated, but actions, especially patterns of behavior, rarely lie. By holding people to this standard, Sigma males ensure that their inner circle is filled only with those who value trust as much as they do. In their world, trust isn't given lightly, and once it's broken, there are no shortcuts to earning it back. This makes their loyalty rare and valuable, a privilege that isn't easily regained once lost. Number 9. They see betrayal as a reflection of the offender, not themselves. For Sigma males, betrayal is not a reflection of their own shortcomings or mistakes. It's a glaring exposure of the other person's true character. While many may internalize betrayal, questioning their own actions or self-worth, Sigma males understand that the fault lies entirely with the offender. They view betrayal as a sign of weakness, dishonesty, or lack of integrity in the person who committed it, rather than a personal failing on their part. This mindset is empowering for Sigma males. Instead of wallowing in guilt, anger, or self-doubt, they shift their focus outward, recognizing that someone who betrays them has revealed themselves to be untrustworthy. Betrayal doesn't wound their sense of self because it doesn't contradict their understanding of who they are. It merely confirms that the person who wronged them is not worth their time or energy. This clarity allows Sigma males to maintain emotional distance, unaffected by the drama or confusion that often accompanies betrayal. They don't waste time trying to understand why the betrayal happened, or replaying past moments for clues. They understand that the person's actions were a choice, and that choice speaks volumes about their character. There's no need for introspection, no need for self-blame. In fact, betrayal only strengthens the Sigma's resolve to move on. They see it as a clean break from someone who wasn't worthy of their trust in the first place. Rather than seeking vengeance or harboring resentment, Sigma males use the experience as a lesson, proof that their instincts were right and that their boundaries, once violated, are non-negotiable. In the end, betrayal doesn't shake the Sigma's foundation. It simply reinforces their understanding that their value is independent of others' actions, and that those who betray them are not deserving of a second chance. Number 10. They reevaluate relationships ruthlessly. Sigma males are ruthless when it comes to reevaluating relationships, and forgiveness doesn't even factor into the equation if the relationship no longer aligns with their principles or goals. They operate by a simple rule. If someone doesn't add value to their life, they're quickly pushed to the periphery. Sigma males constantly audit their social circles, treating their relationships with the same strategic precision they apply to their personal and professional endeavors. Trust, respect, and alignment with their values are non-negotiable, and a breach of any of these means that the offender's place in their life is up for immediate review. When a betrayal or breach of trust occurs, the Sigma male doesn't waste time trying to dissect the offender's motives or offering multiple chances. They assess the relationship for what it truly is, whether it supports their long-term goals, enriches their emotional well-being, and aligns with their principles. If the answer is no, They cut the connection without hesitation. This isn't an emotional reaction. It's a calculated decision based on logic, not sentiment. They don't believe in keeping people around just for the sake of it. If someone doesn't contribute positively to their growth or peace of mind, they're removed with surgical precision. This ruthless reevaluation can happen quickly and without fanfare. Sigma males don't rely on lengthy discussions, mediations, or attempts at reconciliation. Instead, they take action by gradually or abruptly distancing themselves, withdrawing their time, energy, or attention. They don't need closure, and they certainly don't need to explain themselves. The mere fact that someone has breached their trust is enough to justify the exclusion. To a Sigma male, relationships are a reflection of their own values and goals. If someone is no longer in alignment with those, there's no room for sentimentality or second chances. Relationships are assessed not by emotional ties, but by their utility and compatibility with the Sigma's life trajectory. And when those relationships fail to meet that standard, they're ruthlessly discarded, with no room for regret or hesitation. In the world of Sigma males, forgiveness isn't a given. It's a choice, and one that's carefully measured. They don't follow the societal script of endless second chances or emotional resolutions. Instead, they prioritize their peace, principles, and long-term goals, understanding that not everyone deserves a place in their life. For them, betrayal isn't a reflection of their own failures, but a harsh revelation of someone else's true character. Their approach is strategic, not driven by emotions, but by a commitment to their own self-respect and personal growth. Sigma males don't seek closure, they seek justice. They don't engage in drama, they enforce silent consequences. And they certainly don't forgive easily if it means giving away their power. They understand that energy is a limited resource, and they won't waste it on people or situations that don't align with their values. Their relationships are constantly audited, and a breach of trust can result in permanent exclusion. No hard feelings, just a clear recognition of who truly belongs in their inner circle. At the core, Sigma males view forgiveness not as a moral duty, but as an act that must serve a constructive purpose. If it doesn't add value to their life, it has no place in it. They are a reflection of the decisions they make, and the people they allow into their world are held to the highest standards. If someone fails to meet those standards, the consequences are simple. They're moved to the sidelines, their absence felt more deeply than any apology could ever mend. For Sigma males, peace and control are sacred, and their approach to betrayal, forgiveness, and relationships ensures they live life on their own terms, free from toxic dynamics and unworthy connections. It's a rare and refreshing form of strength that not only commands respect, but fosters the unwavering resolve to move forward, no matter the cost. If you found these insights into the Sigma male mindset fascinating, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking content that dives deep into the world of self-mastery, personal growth, and the power of living life on your own terms.